Hi everybody. Okay, I did say I wouldn't give you any assignments that I wouldn't try myself. And it's difficult with all of the work that I have to do. But I got in here and I gave myself a limited amount of time just to achieve something, okay? So I'm just going to show you what I did. I already have a finished little animation. I'm going to show it to you in a second. I'm going to screen capture my computer to show you how I actually brought the whole thing together. So this is my desk, as you can see. I got 3 pieces of card and I put them onto the base. Now the card turned out to be too thin. I went down to the beach and I got a jar, literally went to the beach, got a jar and just scooped up a whole load of sand. And I also got myself a whole load of shells as well. I didn't know what I was going to be doing, so I just got a load of shells. And then I set up my camera on the little angle post that you're going to have as well. And as you can see here, looking in on it, you can see that I only laid the sand where it's actually visible on the camera. Okay, so I didn't bother doing the whole thing. The only sand I put down is there, and then I just threw some shells on top of it. Okay, now at this stage I made 4 or 5 of these little guys. Now some of them have fallen apart and I was only going to use one anyway, and I set him up just off camera like so, and then stop motion being what it is, have a look in here. I basically just rolled him. He's in bits now. He's covered in bits now. Okay, so I rolled him in frame at a time, and as I was going, I haven't just got disconnected. Every time I moved him a little bit, I took my hand over frame and I clicked, and it basically took the shot. I've disconnected it now. Actually better turn that off, save the battery. Okay, so I kept on rolling him in. When he got to about here, thereabouts, I just did some very simple manipulation on his mouth and his eyes and eyebrows, and I went hello, or what I thought hello would be like. I knew I was going to record that later. And then I basically just rolled him off camera. Now you'll see a couple of mistakes as when I show you the final video. So the card and the sand, well, I had to go out. I was out at the beach anyway, so I went out and I picked up the sand in a jar, brought a jar, thought ahead. The card took me a few minutes just to double side tape down, and then the sand, I put too much glue on. I used just craft glue and I put too much on. That was my mistake, and it ended up warping the cardboard. Now it's getting worse. So as he's going across, you'll see he's actually kind of bobbing up and down. So obviously I should have used either thicker card or waterproof card or something. So that's basically how I did all of this. I brought him in, and every time I moved them I just took a shot, simple as that, and then I just did it again and again and again. Didn't use any software. I just recorded all of the frames straight onto the camera, and then I connected the camera to my computer and took the frames off. So I'm going to show you how I put I'll show you the animation and then I'll show you how I put it together. Hello. Okay, now I'm in the edit. Okay, so briefly here it is. So this first long clip you're looking at here is what you just saw. Watch. Hi everybody. Okay, I did say I wouldn't give you... Okay, so that's basically literally what I just recorded. And here is the actual clip itself. Hello. Okay, now I'll probably just intercut that into the video. So the important thing is, how did I piece everything else together? Well, let's have a look, see. So we'll zoom in on this. Now, like I said, I didn't use any software for this. I'm struggling to... The screen recording software is directly over what I'm trying to do. Okay, so here we go. Here are the individual frames. Okay, so you'll see in the very first one there, you can see the background screen. Now I've left that on purpose, and in the rest of them I keyed it out and I put in a video of surf. There's an audio track here. I literally just recorded. Let me just bring up the folder I was using for this so I can show you. Here's the folder I was using. So there's all the individual frames. So I'm just going to go up to view and extra large, and if I go through these, if I bring up the first one, let me see if I can bring it down. Okay, so if I bring up the first one, I'm just going to start hitting the sideways key to go right. So there's the individual frames that I captured. Hello. And then I just rolled them. You see the cardboard buckling. Okay, so that's all of the frames I collected. That's basically all I got. There's the actual outputted video, which I'll intercut. When I bring it up here, it won't be as good a quality. Here is the audio file. Oh, let me just see here now, because you can only see so much of my screen because of the way I've done this. So the audio file is basically, I just recorded me saying hello into a microphone. Hello, hello. And then other than that, what I have is I downloaded the video for the background and another video for the sound. Okay, so I'll show you where they are. So I'll bring up this. Okay, so in the very first one here, here's the background that I found. There's no sound on it, so I just copied so that was fine. I only needed a couple of seconds, but that was okay. So I just went up and copied the URL and I pasted it into our video download. That's fine, but there was no sound. So I searched another one. I literally searched for Csound Waves and I found this. And that's fine. So I used the sound off this and I used the video off this and I used one of the YouTube downloaders basically to get both of them into my folder. Okay, so there is the video and then the sound is here. And as usual, I had to convert it. The original wouldn't import into Premiere, so I ended up having to convert it using VLC. So that's okay. So I brought all of my frames into Premiere and here they all are here. Now initially they all look like this. Okay, so there was just a green screen in the background. So how did I do the green screen? How did I basically cut it out and put the video in behind it? Well, firstly, this is the video playing here in the background on this layer here. Okay, so as it plays, hello, as long as I cut out the green screen, it will just work. So how did I do that? Well, here's what I did. I have to reduce the size of this screen so I can bring it over and show you. Okay, so over in the right hand side under effects, I typed in the word ultra and it brought up ultra key. And what I did was I grabbed ultra key and I dragged it down and I dropped it onto, I have to deselect all of those frames. So I grabbed the ultra key and I dropped it onto the very first frame of my animation. And let me just put this back up so you can see it. Okay, now, so I'm going to zoom in. Again, the screen recorder is kind of in my way. So you see in the second one I have it cut out successfully, in the first one I don't. So what I did was this. I clicked on that first frame and I went over to my ultra key, which is over here. And I had to choose a color for the ultra key. So to do that, I clicked on the little color picker. Okay. And I just chose a color. Now, automatically you can see the video kind of coming through. I'm going to turn off the video layer for a second, but it's not perfect. The green I chose, and this is why we have to kind of stretch our green screen fabric and light it as well as we can. You'll see that there's white areas. Okay, those white areas are going to be visible. So what you have to do is this. Over here on the left where it says composite, drop it down and set it to alpha. And what the alpha do is it will show you what's going to be kept and what's going to be removed. So anything in black should be invisible. So you can see that there's quite a bit of this left, which is going to look bad. Anything you can see up here will still be kind of shadowy visible in front of the video of the beach in behind. So I go on down here to what I call my matte cleanup, and I'm going to drop it down. And what I have is I've got matte generation. Pardon me. It's a little bit slow because of the screen capture. Okay, so if I click on shadow, you see I can bring that down, and what it's doing is it's expanding the selection. Okay, it's gotten rid of a lot of the ones in the background. And if I bring in highlight, you'll see highlight. If I bring it all the way up, it brings the green back, and if I bring it all the way down, it makes it disappear. Okay, now all I have to do now is go back up and change from alpha channel to composite, and I bring my video back up, and you'll see that I now have the video, and it's pretty good actually. Okay, so the only thing at this stage is I've only done the very first frame. So once I have the first one cut out correctly, because all the rest of them will be identical, and I have it back in composite mode, don't leave it in alpha, I have it back in composite mode so I can see it. All I do is I right click on that frame and I go copy, and then I select all of the other frames like so, and I right click and I go paste attributes. And once I do that, the settings I made for the green screen will copy across all of the rest of them. Okay, now at that stage all I have to do is just, that's my video, you'll see that there's nothing in the background. So I just bring in my video and put it directly behind it, like so. And then I record my voice. You can hear here, basically. Hang on a second. Watch.
Hello.
So I just put that wherever the lip sync comes in. So I'll let this play for a second.
Hello.
And at that stage, it's pretty much ready to export. Now, I was down at the beach anyway, so I picked up a jar of sand. I knew what I was going to be doing. It took about 10 minutes to lay out the card, put the glue on it very, very badly. I put way too much glue on. What I should have done was just paste it, brush it out very finely so that it didn't soak into the cardboard. So that was my mistake. But I only gave myself, just for this, I gave myself about 30 minutes just to capture all the frames. You see there's a few mistakes. This little shell here wasn't there before he got there. And I'll tell you why. I used the shell to keep him in place because he was rolling over some bubbled cardboard. He kept rolling back. So what I did was I used the shell. I brought the shell in to keep him in place. And you can see it turning up there. He's literally holding him in place. But when he rolls off, I forgot to tuck the shell away. And I shouldn't have used the shell anyway because it's visible. So the shell literally turns up. Okay, so look, what I did was I gave myself 30 minutes to do this. I wanted to see how quickly I could capture all of the frames that I wanted to capture in order to do what I wanted to do. I brought my phone into the computer. I connected it up and hang on a second. Let me just see where this is again. I took all of the frames off the phone and I copied them all in here. I went online and I downloaded the video that I was going to use, and then I downloaded the sound effects and converted it in VLC. I then went in and took a video, this one, the one I just showed you, the one you just saw, of how I did it. And then I brought the whole thing into Premiere, and I'm actually making it now. But the actual animation I exported separately, this one here.
Hello.
And again, apologies, some of it's gone off screen. My screen recorder only records about 2/3 of my monitor because it's a 34-inch monitor, so I could only record so much. Okay, so that was just to give you an idea of how I did all of this. I'm going to actually take this recording and put it in here, and then I'll show you the whole thing in class. But this animation here, this here. Hello. That only took me, it was to be honest, it was less than 30 minutes, right? Now I did set up the sand a little bit before. I was hoping it would dry out. I didn't realize it was bubbled cardboard. I didn't realize that. You learn as you go. So just to show you, you can turn these things around reasonably quickly. The trick is don't overcomplicate things. Don't focus on anything that you're not actually doing. Now, I've done this animation and I've made this video as well. So I said the whole thing has probably taken me about an hour and a half to go in and film the footage on the desk and bring it back in here and then do this demonstration. So the whole thing is taking me about an hour and a half. But the actual capturing there took about 30 minutes, including bringing it in, downloading the videos. Because it was just basically, it was one video for the background, one video to get the sound off it, and then a little recording of hello, and I threw it together. That took about 30 minutes. Okay, and to be honest, I hadn't actually done it before, and it was a bit of crack. Obviously, the sand took about 15-20, and I just left it there to dry. It didn't completely dry. And anyway, but you get the idea. The reason I'm showing you this video is to show you how quickly you can turn it around if you want to, but also to say, don't be fazed by this, okay? It's a 10% assignment. It should be a little bit of fun. It doesn't have to be perfect. You do your best. We'll move on to the next assignment, okay? Okay.
Hello.